Staying with those pictures that are now coming in from Hyderabad House, in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India and European Union have now signed the mother of all deals. Prime Minister Modi has confirmed that a big agreement that has been signed between India and the European Union, saying that it was a perfect example of partnership between two major economies.
अपनी बात आगे बढ़ाने से पहले मैं एक बड़े डेवलपमेंट की चर्चा करना चाहूंगा। कल ही भारत और यूरोपियन यूनियन के बीच एक बहुत बड़ा एग्रीमेंट हुआ है। दुनिया में लोग इसकी चर्चा मदर ऑफ ऑल डील्स के रूप में कर रहे हैं। ये समझौता भारत के 140 करोड़ लोगों और यूरोपीय देशों के करोड़ों लोगों के लिए बहुत बड़े अवसर लेकर आया है। ये दुनिया की दो बड़ी इकोनॉमीज के बीच तालमेल का एक शानदार उदाहरण बनना है।
Hina is connected with us right now. Hina, when the Prime Minister says कि बहुत बड़े अवसर लेकर आए हैं as far as this deal is concerned, saying that it brings tremendous opportunities for people both in India and Europe, how does it showcase when we talk of strong coordination between the two of the world's largest economies?
Well, let's talk about how it's going to significantly impact people like you and me and our viewers who are watching us right now. So, the Prime Minister has announced that this mother of trade deals, as people are calling it, has been signed. A formal announcement is expected in just a few minutes from now. Around 1 o'clock is when we can expect the big announcement to be made. But how will it change our lives? So, one of the biggest takeaways of this particular deal is going to be how the European cars are all set to get more affordable. You can see the visuals on your screens right now. All the luxury cars that we are showing to our viewers that are made by BMW, Audi, Volvo, Mercedes-Benz, etc. All of these European cars are likely to become more affordable and cheaper. So for the car lovers, it's going to be a very, very big news, because in India, in the auto sector, the import tariff on European cars, on foreign cars, basically has been around 70% to 110%, which has always been a cause of concern for the auto sector. But now with this FTA, this particular number is going to go down. We are learning that it could come down to about 40-odd%, but we will wait for the official announcement from the government side. We'll wait for the fine print to come out and tell our viewers exactly how much has it come down from current 70 to 110%. And this is one significant reduction, in fact, that's going to take place, that India has agreed upon. India has decided to open its auto sector, and this is the biggest takeaway as far as this free trade agreement is concerned, wherein the people of the country are also going to benefit in a big way. Apart from this, for exporters also, Amita, it's a big opportunity. It opens a market access, with about 2 billion odd people. That's the number of people that we are talking about, and that is also the reason why it is being called as the mother of all deals.
Absolutely, and rightly so. When we speak of this agreement, that represents nearly 25% of the global GDP and almost 1/3 of the global trade there. And this has been as far as the entire trade deal that has now picked up pace in the last few years that we are looking at, because the negotiations and the talks began almost 2 decades ago, in the year 2007 that we are looking at, when the talks began. And between 2007 and 2013, multiple rounds of negotiations and talks that have happened. Then it was now in 2022 when the negotiations restarted, it picked up pace, and 2026 is now we are looking at as far as this historic moment that has now been cited on this trade deal that has now been signed. Mr. Sardana, who continues to be with us, thank you very much, sir. What is your understanding when we talk about the most progress that has been made in the last 6 months, from, having closed barely 7 of the 21 chapters by July last year? We are looking at both sides managing to wrap up all of the chapters, and this is the fast tracking of negotiations that has been taking place.
No doubt it's a very important development, considering the geopolitical and the geo-economic situation the way world is going through. So this first bigger message is that it is a political significance that West and India are coming closer, minus US. So this is a message to the world as well as to the Trump. That is very important aspect. As far as mother of all deal is concerned, it looks good, but the total deal between India and Europe as of today is around $220 billion inclusive of merchandise as well as services. Whereas the trade surplus of China is $1.2 trillion. So this terminology, definitely I'm not buying it, but definitely it is an important aspect. Now, second important thing we have to look at is, we have to appreciate that all the luxury goods which are imported will become cheaper. Luxury cars, luxury liquors, luxury watches, all those luxury items will become cheaper in India. This will be a good opportunity for Indian markets to understand how luxury goods should be prepared, sold and provided to the customer. On the other side, what India will gain, one big area where India will gain is services sector. Second area which India will likely to gain, that is textile, provided we focus on quality and requirements of European markets. It needs market intelligence, it needs research, it needs overall upgradation, because in the same European market you have to compete against China, Vietnam, Philippines and whole lot of other countries. So it is going to be a competitive learning experience for India. As far as tariffs are concerned, I'm not very optimistic because already the tariff is at 3.6 or 3.8% when Indian goods goes to Europe. Now you are making it zero, it is hardly gain of 3.5%, which is not a big deal.
Yes.
But what is important here is non-tariff barriers. The European laws are so strict, Indian industry needs massive skill upgradation, quality upgradation to access the European market, and that is where the whole thing will lie on.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your understanding as far as when it comes to these developments are also concerned and what's happening at Hyderabad House as we speak, Rishabh, because the Prime Minister has framed the deal as more than just a trade agreement. He said that this agreement not only boosts trade but also strengthens when it comes to our shared commitment to democracy and to the rule of law.
Well, definitely. See, this is, as many are terming it, as mother of all deals. India-EU trade partnership is about $136 billion as per 2024-2025 trade figures. This is expected to go high. The Indian export to EU will increase as well, is what we are given to understand. And also, if we talk about how will it help Indian industries, you know, EU has quote-unquote gold standards of import. If India is to export more goods and services to EU, India will have to go by that standards as well. And if Indian manufacturers reach that gold standards, it will help India open up its market as well as to export to other markets as well. As we are talking, India, EU happens to be India's one of the largest market. India is 9th trading partner with EU. With this trade deal, the 2.4% of India's export, the import of EU for that matter, 2.4% will go up. And as our experts were also pointing out, this will help our service sector, this will help our automobile sector, this will also help other such sectors as well. The second important announcement that we are looking at today is the Trade and Security Framework Strategic Partnership between India and EU. That will not only help India defense trading with EU, but also open up the EU fundings for Indian defense industries, and that is very, very important.
And that is where we saw Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh also, as far as the understanding that is now concerned, Hina, because what is New Delhi now looking to better, when it comes to the access to the European markets for sectors like textiles, garments, gems, engineering, processed foods. Many of these industries had also lost tariff advantages when EU rules had changed recently.
Absolutely. And also another big hit, Amita, came when Donald Trump, the United States of America's president, imposed tariffs on our country. At that time, it was the jewelry sector, the textile sector that was very, very badly hit, because these sectors export heavily to the market in the United States of America. But now this FTA with European Union, it opens new opportunities for our exporters. It's a big boost to our exporters like the jewelry sector and the textile sector specifically, and that's the reason why it's being hailed as the mother of all deals, because this is in continuation with our strategic, decision to really have FTAs with more and more countries, opening up trade deal prospects with more and more countries, diversifying basically our export basket. And this at a time when we are seeing the world which is in turmoil right now, supply chains are getting impacted, and it is very important if we want to become Atmanirbhar, if we want to become Viksit by 2047, that it is very important for us to look for better and newer markets, because anything can happen anytime in the world. That's what we have witnessed over the last few months, and that's the reason why this deal is important. It's going to cushion our exporters further if in future there will be any kind of tariff threats that could come in any form, and also at the same time it will open new market access. We are saying it as a win-win for both the regions here, because no region or no country has really compromised on national interest. For example, what we have learned from sources, Amita, is that on agriculture sector, India has not compromised. We are going to get access to a lot more as far as defense and security partnership is concerned with the European Union. We will be getting a more affordable European cars, because India is a big market for EU as well. So we have opened up our auto sector, and it's going to help our own industry here in India as well. It's going to make our industry more and more competitive, and that's the idea that the government has.
Competitiveness nut we are looking at, Mr. Sardana, the angle that a free trade agreement that offers a path to regain that competitive stream. Now, do you believe that this would be one of the richest consumer markets that we are looking at, because India brings scale, it brings stability, and it also brings strong growth?
See, we have to appreciate that what was holding you back when we are talking about European market. The tariff was already 3.8%, which is not a big deal. 3.8%, you can remove the GST, you are competitive. We have to appreciate that. Why we are not able to access European market? Because of quality norms, because of documentation, because of traceability requirement, because of other technical and non-tariff related policies and procedures. We have to discipline ourselves. Market was already there. Wherever companies were, those who are doing good job were getting access to market. 3.5% is not a big deal. What is important here is we have to focus more on in-house discipline and in-house quality. Only then this FTA will be useful. If you feel that nothing will change domestically, just by signing FTA, things will change overnight, I'm sorry, I don't buy this argument. We have opened a psychological barrier that there is a FTA, go and sell in Europe. But you have to meet their laws, you have to meet their quality norms, you have to meet their market expectations. It means Indian entrepreneurs should study how the consumers of Europe behaves, make the products accordingly.
So, Mr. Sardana, are you signaling that there could be friction at home because industries that have long depended on high tariff protection may face sharper competition?
Absolutely, especially your liquor business and car business. Because what will happen? Think of a human psychology. If I'm getting in 500 rupees a top Indian brand versus a European brand, ask your friend what they will prefer. They will say imported liquor. Do you know that Indian whiskey is not even classified as a whiskey in Europe? Because what we do, we blend...
Mr. Sardana, isn't it good if we have competition? Don't you think that's a good news? That will make our companies also strive to make better products, compete with global, products that people in India like to buy. Because why is it that despite heavy duties, Indians are buying those cars because of what they offer? So don't you think this competition is going to be good and it's going to be a boost for our manufacturing industry?
Well, Indian exporters could gain smoother access to high value markets, sir.
This is a very important development to shake up India, and we have to become competitive. That is what I'm saying. Two developments which has happened. First, problems created by Trump has shaken up our policymakers, and this deal will shake up our industry. So it is a shaking up learning process for India. We should thank Trump as well as FTA of Europe, because they are waking up us. We were thinking that 1.4 billion population are happy to buy junk. We can supply anything, no customer service, no quality, no regulation, adulterated food, defective products.
But what about the European investors, Mr. Sardana? Because they may also find India to be a more predictable, attractive destination, especially when it comes to manufacturing and clean energy ventures.
Madam, all the companies after COVID shifted to China, not to India. China has not changed anything in last 5 years. Please appreciate. All companies have no, because we don't have ecosystem. What we are doing, we are importing components from all over the world and assembling here. Europe has a technology, they do R&D, they go back to the factories in China, get it manufactured there.
But sir, you to agree that this is an attractive opportunity that we are looking at as far as the signing of the deal is concerned, because most of the progress that has now been made, several of those chapters that have now been covered, both sides have managed to wrap up all of them, and this is the fast tracking of negotiations that have been taking place in a situation where we are witnessing geopolitical uncertainty. Thank you very much, Mr. Sardana. Appreciate you joining us here on the broadcast. To you, Hina, as well. But let's quickly shift focus and get you these